are so random. You bring the darkness to the light, split the atom. I ignore the fact that this will never last. Your words come out so soothing that I forget that this thing is confusing. Having such a blast, but don't ask where my head is at. Cause I'm cruising through the rush of us. I don't care about love, just need your touch. Want you to be my vice, 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 vice. I'm all about your vibe, vibe, vibe. Me and you got that good, yeah, but I'm running like I'm lost in the woods, yeah. I don't really care, cause I just like it here. Me and you can't get enough, no, you know, acted, but I know this is a bluff, though. Having such a blast, but don't ask where my head is at. Cause I'm cruising through the rush of us. I don't care about love, just need your touch. Want you to be my vice, 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 vice. I'm all about your vibe, vibe, vibe. Want you to be my vice, 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 vice. I'm all about your vibe, vibe, vibe. Want you to be my vice, 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 vice. I'm all about your vibe, vibe, vibe.
Don't force me out of bed in your society. Don't push me down the road you're bleeding down. Don't try to fix my head, it's just your anxiety. Don't hush me now, cause I just wanna shout. Don't make me dance to the tune that you're humming. No, my body don't move like that. Don't make me pretend I don't see your shortcomings. You'll be running when
Hello, streamers. I can't promise this is going to last long. I have been pretty sick the last few days and my voice sounds like this. I actually didn't know my voice sounded like this because I haven't talked for the last few days. Whoops. I should have probably tried that. Yeah, this is the first time. Wow. This is the first time I've actually said anything, I think. I live, I'm alive. But, you know, I had to put makeup on this morning for something else. And so I figured, why not at least like try to hang out with you for a few minutes. So go ahead and, you know, get those questions in early. So today is open Q&A. If you're new around here, please do type new. I don't usually sound like this. And I usually will stay on for a lot longer than I probably will today. And I'm usually not sick. I haven't actually been this sick in years. Like I can't remember the last time I was this sick. It's been at least probably 3 years. But thank you so much. Yeah, I am so thankful for Instacart. Instacart has saved my life because I've been able to get like supplies from different locations, like the natural health food stores and like the regular stores and all of that, right? So yeah, no, I won't push it. I've been taking, I haven't worked for the last couple days. So I am trying to take very good care of myself, and don't worry, I have a C test tomorrow, but I don't believe it is at all. So yeah, so anyway, it's just like a bad cold. But yeah, I make sure I am taking care of myself. Thank you guys so much. Oh, Marcus, I did it again to you. I've got to put that on my checklist because when I'm editing the show, I take off the super chat when I'm editing overlays and stuff because it gets in the way. So my apologies, Marcus. I really am sorry. Oh, it did it. Yeah, I got it in time. Thank you so much. New member, new executive producer member, Dale, self-publishing with Dale. Dude, thank you so much. Good to see you here. And thank you for becoming a member. Now, I am going to play credits today for our members, but I won't be doing a member-only show today, just so you know. No one else is sick on the team that I know of. So if you have questions, put a Q in front of your question, and that will get into my queue to make sure I answer. And if I go on mute, you know why. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, so bad. Executive producer sounds like an amazing title. Hey, I think it's our top level, right? Isn't it? I'm so glad that you did that and you're here. Okay, so I don't want to waste too much time. I feel like I have some announcements, but I don't know what those would be. So if my team wants to tell me if I have things to make sure people know about. But also I want to point out, we do have a big announcement coming up on the 15th. So if you, stick around, like we've got 10 more days until our big announcement, which is killing me since I'm sick and I haven't been able to work on it. But I'm going to get there. I'm just trying to not like extend the sickness by working and trying, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So go ahead and get those questions and in the queue. But we do have that big announcement on the 15th. So we'll go live for our normal announcement or our normal stream at 10. And then at 11 a.m. Pacific on the 15th, I will have a big announcement for you guys, something we've been working really, really hard on. And I'm so freaking excited about it. I can't tell you how excited I am. And the people that we've gotten involved for it. And it's just amazing. Well, John, you gotta work on that. Also, Sun Distributing says, I love how relaxed you are for the countdown. I usually am frantically trying to try and figure out why this or that has suddenly stopped working. So that comes with experience. It really does. Sun, I don't know what your real name is. If you want to let me know, I will totally call you by that. But I can be running around fixing things until like 2 seconds to go and then just go. But, I've done this I'm coming up on 16 years in 2 months. It'll be, in about a month and a half, it'll be 16 years that I've been doing this. So it's just experience. It's like dealing with all the things and figuring out that it's not the end of the world. So yeah. Rick. Okay, I'll do my best to remember that. Forgive me if you have to tell me that a couple of times, okay? Sorry. Careful with the announcements when you're not at full capacity. I know, but you know, we've already committed to that day and I'm going to make it happen regardless. But also, if you are in Streamer Accelerator, you guys will hear about it first as always. So pay attention. Next week sometime. It's supposed to be on Monday, but that may not happen given this. Okay. Oh, thank you, Dale. Yeah, I was inducted into the Podcast Hall of Fame in 2017, I think it was. Was it 2017 or later? I don't know. I think it was 2017, but like that you can't even get until you've been in the business for 10 years. And that was like, felt like such an accomplishment, just that longevity, even though like I've changed brands and I've changed from my alias to my real name and all of the transitions and the pivots that I've gone through in my career. Like that was a milestone, a pretty cool milestone. And I'm very thankful to be able to still be here today, 16 years later, doing this. Okay. Question from Power BI Guy. Is there a video somewhere of how to do a 10-minute music countdown for a live restream stream where I can talk to the participants in the lobby during the countdown? I don't know if I have a video specifically on that. I've probably covered it in videos, but that would be kind of a needle in the haystack. I do have plans to do something like that. That is on my brain because one of the things that I want you guys to understand is you don't have to dance during your countdown timers like I do. That intimidates a lot of people, rightfully so. But you can absolutely, that is one of the biggest benefits to a countdown timer is that it is a pre-show, and that pre-show can look however you want it to look. And that pre-show could look like you just chatting with the audience beforehand, right? So that's definitely a possibility. I guess my question is, are you using Restream Studio or are you using something like ECAM going to Restream? In that case, what you would want to do is set up like a half panel graphic. You can do that in Restream Studio. Yeah. Yeah, you could have like a little banner because you can have frames and stuff like that. So you could set up a graphic that kind of shows people that, I'm trying to think, that shows we're going to work on that. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that because there are a couple of things going through my brain. I know, guys. I led you down. It is awesome, but it's not for everybody. It's not everybody's personality, right? So the thing is you just need to understand that you're not going to have you need to play music differently in Restream and StreamYard than you would in ECAM, right? So then you also have limitations in those services. So you just need to set it up correctly, but you can absolutely do that. So we'll work on a video for you on that. So I'll just tell you it's coming soon. Nobody's asking, why isn't anybody asking questions? Are you just feeling sorry for me? You don't want me to talk? That's funny. Oh, Paul is late. Paul, did you bring cookies? Wow. What have you been doing? You didn't answer chat this morning. I mean, where have you been? Okay, now we've got some questions coming in. You guys are funny. Usually like have all of the questions like going really fast, really quickly. I think you guys are just feeling sorry for me, but I'm here as long as I can be. We use OBS to Restream. Is there a better suggestion like ECAM, pros and cons? So I personally like ECAM better. I find it easier to use, but OBS is free, right? So it depends on your willingness to fiddle. Your risk factor, right? So with OBS, you can have some audio potential issues. They're getting better. It's getting better, but I know a lot of our students still have issues with audio inside of OBS. It is not as regularly developed and updated like ECAM is. Like they're constantly adding new features, constantly adding new stuff in ECAM. So it depends on what you like. It depends on your ability to deal with issues as they come up, right? So from my perspective, ECAM is a more stable and easier to use, more intuitive interface than OBS. But OBS is free, ECAM is not. So you have those different pros and cons. And so if you're wanting, so I send my signal out to RESTREAM for multicasting, but I'm not going into RESTREAM Studio. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not, right? It depends on what I'm trying to accomplish. So hopefully that helps. Okay. Any tips for using RESTREAM Studio on the iPad? I used Safari on the iPad. Is that the best way? Yeah, they don't have like an app. So I don't think that there's a difference in terms of Safari or Chrome. You might test that. And maybe one of our team members can find that in an FAQ, whether there's a preferred browser for RESTREAM Studio. But yeah, they don't have an app, so you're just going to use that on the browser. Safari or Chrome should be fine. Chrome most likely is going to work better, so I would try that as well. Okay. No, interesting. So today we didn't do a lot of promotion for this stream, so and I didn't want a whole lot of people here today because sick, and I didn't know how long I would last. So, but overall, our viewership is actually going up, and now that summer is over, so summer, every creator friend of mine in my networks have complained that summer was a big drop across the board. So we're seeing that increase now, going back to kind of quote unquote normal. So that's the good note. That's the good news. You guys, wait. Clock change happens this Sunday. Does it happen differently for different people in the world? Am I just not realizing that, or is it my brain fog? let's call it the brain fog. Is it happen different times for different countries? I'm so confused now. It does, doesn't it? It does because there's always been that problem. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. When I stream as a DJ dancer, I have a dance cam where I would dance whenever my followers claim points to watch. Yes, kind of like on Twitch when people buy bits, right? Or spend, give you bits or tips that you can totally integrate into any platform. I love that. Making it an engagement factor, making it a gamification process. Gamification is something that I really want you all to get good at through your streams. Okay, let me make sure I haven't missed anything because I think I'm on track here. Okay. How to make the best IRL stream. So it depends on what you're doing with that IRL stream. You can go low tech with your phone, but that's going to potentially drop signal if you're moving around and walking about. So as you pass through different signals and something gets weak, one of your signal, or let's say you're on Verizon and your Verizon signal gets weak where you're walking or driving or whatever, don't drive and talk to, or don't drive and watch chat at the same time, please. But yeah, as you're kind of going through different signal areas, you may drop that signal, which could cut your stream. So if you want to go high tech, then you're looking at quite a good investment for that. And you can look at something like LiveU. They have a fantastic device that bonds together signals, different cellular signals, so that you don't lose that signal and drop your your stream. So that's the beginning of it. There's a lot more to IRL. If you're talking about like engagement factor or hosting, then that's an entirely different discussion. So let me know if you're talking the tech side of things, or like how to be best like on camera during an IRL. Let me know. Oh no, I'm sorry. Curious, what do you use to schedule social media posts? I'm not going to name the service that we've been using. It's not been working well for us. How many of you have seen our Twitter posts where it's like a link to something on Amazon and the image is all grainy and small? That's happening because of the service that we're using. It's going fine out to other platforms, but not Twitter. And so we've had to delete all of those posts as they get posted. So we're actually on the, we're looking out for a different option. So there are lots on the market, as you know, Kathleen, but we're not really happy with the one we've been using. So, oh, I was like, what are you talking about, Paul? Yeah, OBS does have a steep learning curve. I feel like most people, you know, who are Mac users love the ECAM interface because it is just kind of like, it feels Apple related, right? But yeah, this is a good point in terms of OBS versus ECAM. ECAM has that built-in interview feature. So that's something, if you're going to be doing interviews, to keep in mind. I am way behind on comments now. Hold on, let me... Woohoo! Wait, is that old? Hold on. I'm going to catch up. I am... Clock change for us this weekend, clock change for the EU last weekend. Okay, so it's a week. That sounds about right. Okay, here's the deal. Last week, I went to my yoga class and I freaked out because I thought it was an hour early. And then I realized, no, my car clock just changed. But none of my other clocks changed. Like my microwave and stove, like those clocks are fine. But my car clock changed and it was off an hour. And I was like, what the heck is going on? So I thought like during that process until I came back home and saw that my clocks hadn't changed. Anyway, I thought I was totally crazy. Oh yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, if you're streaming on Twitch, that's awesome. Okay, let's see. I'm coming here. Okay. Only wait. Okay. Any tips for promoting streams? We are dual posting to Facebook and YouTube with the Tear Deck and are scheduling posts and making community engagement posts with low views. Okay. There are a lot of pieces to this equation, but a couple of things. One, do you have an email list? If you're not building your email list, start now. It is massively important that you do so, and because you control that connection, you control that list. You don't control your social platforms. You don't control the fact that Facebook and YouTube are not going to send out notifications to every single person who has asked for them. So you've got to control that promotion cycle. And so you do that by using your social assets, absolutely. Now, when you say you're making community engagement posts with low views, the question is, what are you doing with those? Are you, are you straight up promoting a show? Here's the kicker that most people don't get. And once you accept this and you lean into it, it will change your results. So you've got to mix personal and content related posts. So if you're not putting out on social or the community tab or whatever, just human connection things, then you are going to get low traction on everything else content related. People are human and they're not as excited by content. Even though they've subscribed to you for content, they're not as engaged with that stuff as they are the human stuff. So the more human stuff you put out, the more likely they're going to pay attention when you post something content related. But also you can play with how you're doing the content, create that sense of FOMO, fear of missing out, get them to show up because they can't not, right? Like they've got to see what's going to happen. Like this morning, my promotion was like, come see the disaster because I'm coughing and sneezing up a storm, right? Like it's just one of those things, right? And so you just want to like, play up the human level factor inside of your content related posts as well. So I'm kind of gonna give you those things to start with. It is deep. It's a deep discussion. So it's, you know, something to consider. Getting started with those tips, and then you can kind of dive deeper and deeper and deeper and get better and better and better. Okay, I'm way behind on chat. Let me go to the queue over here. Rich. Okay, one question. I thought you said there were no questions for me because I'm sick. Does your couch feel like it's trying to clear off your chest? Oh, cough? I was like, what? It literally, I'm sorry, that was a typo, but it's cracking me up. Does your cough feel like it's trying to clear off your chest? And also, does the cough sound almost like a whooping cough? It's changing day to day, so. Thank you so much, Marcus. I appreciate you. That's fantastic advice. Well, I'll take it. I'll take it. Oh, thank you, Lego My Ego. Appreciate that. Well, I'm glad my tweet did something. Brought you on board. Okay. I just answered that. Jim, I am mainly ECAM on desktop, but what app do you recommend for live streaming via mobile? I'm on iOS. Okay, so I personally like the Prism app for live streaming on iOS. So Prism Live, it allows you to multi-stream. It allows you to add graphics or imagery from your photo roll. So you can do kind of a lot with it. And so I have a video where I kind of walk through the different options. Now we should actually probably change the title of this video, Daniel, if you're watching, but the title of the video is how to go live on YouTube under 1,000 subscribers, something to that effect. But unfortunately, like 2 weeks after we released that video, YouTube actually removed the 1,000 limit and brought it down to like 50 subscribers. So that's no longer really relevant, although I think people are still searching for it. So that one goes over like 2 or 3 different apps that I like, but Prism Live is definitely my favorite. Thank you so much, Joanne. I appreciate you. Thanks. It's certainly low. I certainly didn't like go all out with my countdown timer dancing though. Let's see. Am I crazy? I pay for the ECAM Pro package, but I only allow guests on my show once a year. No, because Pro comes with all kinds of other things. It's not just about guests, right? It allows virtual cam. That's one of the biggest benefits to ECAM Pro. So yeah, losing my train of thought. That's not good. So virtual cam allows you to send your entire production out to, Zoom or other services. So that virtual cam is a wonderful tool that you absolutely want to use if you do anything outside of ECAM. Look at what you did, Lego. Oh my God, that's hilarious. I don't know why that's so funny. That's usually not that kind of my humor, but yeah. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay. Thank you so much, Jim. Thanks for the answer. Feel better soon. You are very welcome. Okay, did you get the new Mac? I haven't ordered. Okay. Don't tell anyone. I had started to order, and then I was thinking about and thank you, Mr. Poseidon, for the $10 super sticker. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Y'all are awesome. So I haven't ordered, and then I was gonna go to the site or the store to trade it in, but then I had some questions about that, and so I have been, yeah. I have been lacking on that. I am going to order it like this week. But yeah, because I'm going to make a whole bunch of changes to like the studio and stuff. So I'm kind of like overarching, trying to figure out my entire flow. So I just got to like get there. Thank you, Rich. I definitely will. Mr. Poseidon, member for 6 months. Wait, member for 9 months. It says both member for 6 months and member for 9 months. I'm not sure what to make of that. But regardless, we'll go with the 9 months. Thank you so much for being such a great supporter. Okay. Tech takeaway. How does going live on YouTube channel overall help in growing your audience? And does it help or hurt your YouTube algorithm not having many followers and then still going live? Yes. Oh, changes to the studio. Oh yeah, we've got some really good stuff. I may actually push those changes out till the beginning of the year, just depending on timelines, but we have some amazing stuff happening in this studio. Okay. To answer your question about going live on YouTube. So, it depends on your strategy. So you can absolutely use live for growth. So with the strategy that we've implemented this year on our channel, we've actually increased our retention rate, which is the AVP, the average view percentage, but up to 1,300% increase from prior years. And that's like super impressive. But part of that, it has a lot of different factors to it. But part of that is thinking about your live as a replay. And so you want to think about your live stream for the purposes of audience growth or for the purposes of community. This stream, these Friday Q&As, they're meant for building community and connection, not so much growth, right? So I'm not expecting somebody to search live Q&A and find us, subscribe to us, and watch all of our videos. I am, however, giving the opportunity for us as a community to come together and hang out, answer questions and talk about whatever you want. The Monday streams, you'll notice, are very, very different. They're topic oriented. They're very strategic. I actually build them, the show flow, so that they are cut down and repurposed as a replay or as a video that is built to actually gain new subscribers. So it's all about strategy. It's all about thinking ahead of time and knowing what you want your live streams to do. If you have low viewership, that doesn't necessarily matter in the beginning, right? You're building on top of that. But with low views, you can't do something like a Q&A, an open Q&A, and expect people to give you enough content by questions. So you need to kind of do something different, right? So look at our Monday streams, the way we do those. I would start with that kind of topic related conversation. That way you're giving value before you expect people to just throw questions at you. So hopefully that helps get you started. We have, we talk about this a lot in our Streamer Accelerator program. That's our membership, where we dive deep into those conversations if that's something that you're interested in. But we also, right now, we're not really focused on those kinds of videos on this channel. We kind of go in phases depending on what people are really wanting. But we do have something coming up soon that will offer you those kind of strategic conversations and training. So I would pay attention to this channel, stay subscribed, turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss that announcement when it comes. I should probably said too much. Okay. Lesson hacker. Do you have a physical cough button or is it via software? I actually use my Rodecaster Pro for the cough button. I could do that a number of ways. I have a Stream Deck, so I could program. I actually do have that programmed as well right here. That's my cough button. But I actually typically just use my Rodecaster Pro to do that cough button. It depends on, you know, what else I have on the desk, probably. Yeah, totally. Member for 6 months and 9 months and founder of Time Travel. I have one sub, just tried to go live. Ready in 24 hours. Yes, it does take 24 hours on YouTube. Interesting. You only have one sub and you got that. That's interesting. Huh. And I love sourdough. I used to make sourdough before I started video podcasting online. And then it just took too much time and I had to give up my starter. But I'm gonna have to check out your channel. I love sourdough. My favorite. Bread is my weakness in general. But sourdough is my all-time weakness. Absolutely. I take time off when I need to. I felt like today I wanted to give it a try. I wanted to show up. And that's the thing is I will never tell you to, push yourself. I felt like I could accomplish this and then I'm going to go back to bed. Oh, thank you, Einar. Sorry, I was muted. For the super sticker, appreciate you. But I do think that it's important that you realize that dedication, not putting yourself at risk by any means, but dedication, even when you don't feel good. And I don't mean sick, because I'll never tell you to push through while sick, even though I do sometimes. But, when you're not feeling up for it, when you're feeling kind of low energy, the dedication that you give to your audience by showing up anyway is important. And pushing through those types of not feeling great, because that's what creates that habit and that trust with your audience. If every time you just don't feel like it, because you've had a bad day or whatever, you don't show up, you're not really going to have that connection with your audience and that trust. So it's pretty important that you have that sense of commitment, regardless. All right. Sorry. Whew, that one was deep. Okay. Michelangelo, here's a question for you. PC or Mac? Have you not been around me for a while, huh? I get that a whole lot, and I try to answer it on my Twitch streams accordingly for music stream artists, streamers, and podcasters. I'm a Mac. But don't worry. There have been a couple of those over the past few days for sure. Yes, hold on. I'm coming back to the macro PC. But yes, it's like going to any job. You got to do it whether you're feeling like it or not. Being sick and not being able to do it is an entirely different subject. But doing it regardless if you feel like it or not, I'm glad you said that, Dave. It's exactly the same. Like, this is your job, so you show up and you do it regardless. Okay, so PC or Mac, we have a wide variety, like, in this community. As you can see, we've got people who think PC is better. And PC, if you go the PC route and you choose vMix as your software, vMix actually does have some more in-depth capabilities or options on their software than ECAM does. The difference between them has drastically reduced over the past couple of years because ECAM keeps adding features and improving their software. But there are some things that ECAM doesn't yet have, so vMix does outperform it from that perspective. The weight in which that matters is dependent on you, and whether you need those things, like choosing the bit rate that you send out, you know, like those in-depth things. If you get Stream Deck and ECAM, you can do a lot of the same things that you used to not be able to do outside of vMix or OBS or things like that. So both are awesome. I love both softwares. I personally prefer Mac and ECAM just because of the interface, but I love vMix as well as a software. For a lot of ECAM or Mac users, they kind of get overwhelmed with that. Well, a lot of users in general get kind of overwhelmed with the interface of vMix, but once you understand it, it's not that bad, right? So it really depends. It's a personal preference and what you need to do with your streams. And so, yeah, perhaps it's time for another PC versus Mac video and laying out those differences. What do you guys think? Should we do like these are the differences? Unfortunately, that's the problem, is that ECAM's then going to come out with another feature and make that video useless. PC is the extrovert and Mac is the introvert. Let's see. Sorry. Hold on, I'm just taking my breath. I'm gonna wrap this up in a couple minutes. Here, wait. Do you use YouTube live caption often? And when you do you see significant numbers in watch time? I don't see a significant difference. Reliably accurate. You know, I think that Kathleen, aka your tech coach, would be able to speak to how accurate the captions are, the live captions are. So I'm going to let her answer that and I'll throw this up. But in terms of significant watch time, I haven't noticed a difference. I do know some of my creator friends have noticed a difference. So we probably need to do a little bit more data gathering on that particular question. But just kind of overview, generally speaking, I haven't seen that watch time increase that much for that. But again, we haven't really sat down and done the data, you know, and just like really tracked it. So I'm just kind of speaking at an overview level, or my like kind of sense of it, right? So yeah, definitely. Like, because ECAM keeps adding features, but also thanks to the M1, they're closer in performance wise. Abso-freaking-lutely. Like that M1 is just a game changer. Why do you think the Restream type platforms keep 1080 streaming behind the pro tiers? Just curious, as I'd love to have this feature rather than a bunch of others, but my subs are tiny. I mean, how does any software price, you know, their tiers? That's probably one of, that you're probably a lot of people, they want that higher quality. And so that naturally kind of goes into a higher tier. So I don't have any inside information in terms of how they price their tiers, but my gut would say it's just it naturally fits into a higher tier just because it's it takes more from their end and cost from their end to run that higher quality, but also it's a desire thing as well, right? Okay. So here's the answer. Any automatic captioning will have errors, but the YouTube Google does a pretty amazing job. The web captioner is a great option too and plugs into vMix. I believe your tech coach has a video all about this and comparing the different options. Am I correct on that, Kathleen? If so, she's going to drop a link so you guys can take a look at that. Okay, you guys, I'm maxed out here, so I am going to cut this stream now. We're gonna dance. Actually, we're gonna play the credits. Thank you to all of our members. We are here every Friday for open Q&A, usually a lot longer than I am today, but you guys are gonna forgive me, I know. Thank you so much for bringing the questions and hanging out with me and allowing me to be not at full capacity today. So thank you all so much. I love hanging out with my community, aka you guys. You are the most amazing. So I'm gonna go take a nap and probably have a hot toddy later. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
free, let's go.